Welcome back. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with His Excellency Ambassador Ayman Moshrafa, Assistant Secretary of Foreign Affairs. Good afternoon, Your Excellency.
Good afternoon.
Well,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and to your family. Well, Your Excellency, Ambassador Moshrafa, since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office in the year, foreign relations of Egypt with other countries have really witnessed a great leap. But if we go specifically to, as we are the new year, the year 2023 is coming to an end, and it's only hours we are going to welcome the year 2024. So we'd like to go through the year 2023. How did you follow the visits or the efforts by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to boost relations with other countries? As in the start of the 2023, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have attended Abu Dhabi summit, and after that he attended the World Government Summit in the Emirates. So what is the significance of this? And he of course held several meetings there. There was a side on the sideline of the conferences and the summits. There were also meetings by the president and the accompanying delegation.
Actually, always the presidential visits and presidential tours has always a purpose to fulfill the goals of the Egyptian foreign policies. So we have a multilateral track. Our presence in international convention and summits, like our participation in the COP 28, 27, 26, in relation of the importance of the environment that the Egyptian government is putting it on the forefront priorities. And in the same time, his visit to participate in St. Petersburg in the second edition of the summit had the purpose to boost international cooperation between a major power like Russia and the African continent. And his participation in the extraordinary summit, it was to address the regional crisis. So always, and his participation in the G20 summits and other multilateral summits, the importance of it is always to put the Egyptian point of views in those summits and to put the Egyptian interest, whether it is economic or political, and to let the Egyptian voice heard in those multilateral forums. So, and besides, of course, the tools of the president included boost bilateral relations. The president had an extensive visits in the Gulf states and in Europe and even in Africa. He visited Angola, he visited Mozambique, he visited Zambia to serve the quest of and to enlarge the Egyptian presence in Africa and boost the Egyptian-African bilateral relation and the Egyptian trade in Africa.
Yes. Your Excellency, you've just mentioned that the President have visited Zambia. Actually, in June, the President visited Zambia to attend the COMESA summit, and that was a very important visit as the President held several sideline meetings with other presidents of the African countries. Give us an idea about the importance of this visit in which the President have met with several presidents of African countries also besides Zambia.
The COMESA is a very important agreement to enlarge the scope of inter-African trade. And Egypt was one of the founders of the COMESA agreement. And always our diplomacy had a goal to improve and to enlarge the scope of COMESA to boost the Egyptian African trade. And always during those summits, the president had always the chance to meet his colleagues, head of states of African states and leaders, to exchange point of views and to explain the importance of the importance that Egypt attached to the problem of the African continent, and at the same time to defend Egyptian interests in issues like the Renaissance Dam, and to explain the Egyptian position in such problems, and in the same time to help and to the global African quest to have a global environmental policies to be heard and put in forums like the COP28, which was held in Abu Dhabi.
Yes, also upon the invitation of the French President Emmanuel Macron, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have visited France in order to attend the Global Finance Summit. So how did you see the importance of this visit in boosting the relations between Egypt and France?
Actually, we have a very, very close relationship with France. And France is one of the most important trade partners and arms suppliers to Egypt, and a partner for development. And we have a close relation with France in the quest to have a tripartite cooperation in Africa, in view that Egypt has an extensive role in the African continent, and the French government has an experience too. So always Egypt and France are important partners in development. And our participation in such summit was important too, to put the Egyptian position and in such a big, important financial forum, to improve the term of trade and the term of finance, and to attract more investment from the north to the south.
Yes. Also, Your Excellency, Ambassador Moshrafa, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have received also an invitation in order to visit India. And that was a very significant invitation visit that the President have held several talks and met with several businessmen in India, and with the President, of course. So give us an idea about the importance of this visit.
Actually, the presidential visit to India was not the first. The president, during his tenure, visited India many times, and the Indian invitation to President Sisi signals the importance of Egypt as a key player economically and politically in the Middle East, and a force of power and stability. And Egypt is becoming an important member of a very important economic groupings like the COMESA, like the BRICS lately. So the presence of Egypt is, in such important summit will be an added value to the group.
Yes, Your Excellency, Ambassador Moshrafa, also the President was invited to visit Russia. So what was the importance of this?
You know, this was in context of the forum of the second conference of the Russian-African cooperation. And Egypt, of course, is one of the most important African countries and an important partner of Russia, and one of the most important trade partner of Russia too. So it was quite natural that President Putin will extend a visit for the President to participate. And during this conference, the President made many side negotiations and meetings with many African leaders. to exchange point of views and to improve the African-Egyptian relation in all sectors.
Yes, Your Excellency, Ambassador Moshrafa, what is your point of view concerning the visits that the President receives in order to visit whether European countries or Asian countries? What does this show of the role or the size of Egypt in the Middle East and the Arab and African countries?
Actually, Egypt is surrounded by an arc of crisis from the north, from the south, from the east. So the Egypt position and the Egypt geopolitical position is very important. And Egypt is a stabilizing role and a mediator for instance, the Gaza crisis. So, I mean, always the international community and the partners of Egypt are looking to the Egyptian position, and they want always to be in line with the Egyptian policies and to listen to our point of views and our proposal concerning solving such burning conflict which affecting the stability, the regional stability and the international stability. So Egypt always is an important country in the international foreign policy. And always the visit of the President is adding more value and more weight to the Egyptian foreign policy.
Yes, bless you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Ambassador Moshrafa, also you've just mentioned how Egypt acted as a mediator in the Gaza crisis. So this is a very important point also, the role that is played by Egypt and the size of Egypt in the Middle East and concerning the Palestinian cause in general, which Egypt have always supported through history, not only nowadays. Egypt have recently, under the auspices of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, have proposed a plan or a roadmap in order to put an end or a ceasefire for the offensive that's happening in the Gaza Strip, and have just mentioned this 2 days ago. The role that is played, the diplomatic role that is played by Egypt in the war between Israel and the Palestinian territories, especially in Gaza Strip, in order to also provide or deliver the humanitarian aid and supplies and medicines to the Gazans and the Palestinians through the Gaza-Rafah border. Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
From the outset of the crisis, actually, President Sisi has convened an international conference in the administrative capital to try to contain the crisis from the beginning, because he knew very well that this crisis could go out of hand, and predicted the human suffering which we are in now. And from the beginning, I mean, we reached out to the international partners like the United States and the Big Five, and Minister Sameh Shukri was a part of the Arab delegation, which made visits, shuttle visits to the Big Five and to important key countries to try to find a solution for the ongoing crisis. Plus, Egypt didn't spare an effort to put all the ports and crossing points and airports under the for international donors to find a corridor, a safe corridor, to send all the humanitarian aid needed to alleviate the suffering of the people of the Gaza Strip inside Palestine. And politically, we and the Arab League and Arab partners are reiterating the position, the refusal of any forced movement of the Palestinians, the need to find a two-state solution, and an immediate and unconditional ceasefire.
Yes. Yes. I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Your Excellency Ambassador Ayman Moshrafa, Assistant Secretary of Foreign Affairs, thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.